Hello everyone, we are joined by Two and Under podcast. Can you explain what you guys do in terms of Newcastle supporters who might not know what you guys get up to?
So we're obviously a podcast group here in Australia. We do normally about 2 podcasts a week. We do a review, a preview. We've also just launched our United series where we get Newcastle fans from around the world and things like that and explain how they come to support Newcastle. So we've had Chris Waffon from The Athletic who's jumped on. We've had the goalkeeper from the Newcastle Jets, our local professional team in Australia. Mad Newcastle fan. We've had Callum Ferguson, former Australia cricketer, who's jumped on as well. We had Adam P on a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here with his medical condition that he's gone through at Brentford, which was a bit scary. But yeah, we're just psycho Newcastle fans here in Australia.
And I got some big names already that you've got there. Now, obviously, you can probably hear some of the Newcastle fans in the background. I've said on your video, so make sure you check it out. I'll put a link in the description. That this has blown me away.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All the fans around here, it's like, I don't know if they were overcrowded or anything, but this has just blown me away.
Yeah, it's blown me away a little bit too. I wasn't expecting this many people here, and because we've had 3 pubs kind of in the same area, so I wasn't sure if everyone was going to kind of a little bit here and a little bit there, but it seems like everyone's just launched into this one. Yeah, so it's great. Like we said, this could be the only opportunity that we get to see Newcastle here. So everyone's just flown in from interstate, and like people were flown 4, 5, 6 hours just to come here tonight for a friendly, with no reason, no repercussions for the game, just to be able to see the team, experience the atmosphere and things like that. Like it's absolutely crazy down here.
Australia's that big. When you say it's 4 to 5 hours, that's like people come from Sydney and Perth. Back in the UK, that's like 4 or 5 hours.
Out of Europe.
You're hitting Russia. You're hitting Russia basically. But that support alone is absolutely incredible. But what emotions will be running through your mind when you see the lads come out and train and clap the fans?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be scary, I reckon, in a couple of hours. Yeah. And look, it's funny. So my grandma grew up in Ashington, and then she'd come over on a boat, migrated over here in the 50s. Dad was born here, and obviously I was born into the Newcastle family as well. And unfortunately, Grandma passed away a couple of years ago, but we had Local Hero was her song when she was sort of getting wheeled out of the funeral parlour. So I think when that plays, things might start getting a little bit teary and stuff like that. But you can see here it's going to be carry on for the next 2 hours at the game, and it's just going to be absolutely unreal.
You're going to cry, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think I'll be the only one that cries when they hear that either. There's a lot of expats that are here as well who probably used to go to the games 10, 15 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, but when they hear, everyone's got a connection to that song.
And that's the thing I want to bring up as well, the connection, because yes, I'm from Newcastle, support Newcastle. You're out in Australia. I was in America last year, Saudi the year before that. No matter where you are in the world, you're as passionate as Newcastle as I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that there has been a bit of bickering, I guess, toing and froing between if you're a real fan or you're not a real fan. Like, there's no right or wrong. Like, everyone's a real fan. Like, you go to every game, you travel the world, you're a real fan. We get up at 2 o'clock in the morning every week to watch the team play. Like, it doesn't make us any less. If we had the opportunity to live, we'd go every week as well, but we have to make best with what we've got. So the best is getting up at 2 a.m. every week. If it's a midweek game, we'll get up at 5 a.m. to watch the game, go to bed for a couple of hours, go to work.
I was just about to come on to that, because when you know Newcastle are playing and the game's been changed to 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, so you then have to look and think, well, I've got work in the morning, I might go to sleep for 3 hours here, wake up, freshen up, and then watch the game, or do you just stay awake all night and think, fuck it, I'm staying awake?
Yeah, well, if it's a midweek game, it's all right, because it probably starts about 5 or 6 a.m. here. So we've got every game live. So it was actually the PSG game was the first time I'd ever listened to the radio, a Newcastle game on radio.
I hate that.
Yeah, it was really awkward, because part of me wanted to listen in the car and have the game on the phone, and I'm like, no, I better be legal and just play it through the radio. And it was a bizarre experience actually listening to it on the radio, because we can watch it every week. So it's the Sunday lunchtime kickoffs are the killer, because it might be 1 a.m. on a Monday morning here, which You might have a couple of hours, watch the game. If it's a good result, you're wired and you can't sleep for an hour. You get a couple of hours and you've got to get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock to go to work on a Monday morning.
How do you go out to have that conversation about Newcastle? Because I've got like pals and NFTV and what have you.
Yeah.
How do you go out and think, I want to talk about Newcastle, I want to talk about Isak's wonder goal or Bruno's performance?
Yeah.
Where do you allow yourself to release that? Who do you talk to?
That was the purpose of the podcast. They're very few and far between. When you're in a big country like Australia, it's hard to find a Newcastle fan. There's a lot of Man United, there's a lot of Liverpool, there's a few Chelsea, maybe a little bit less of Man City, but there's not that many Newcastle. So we started the podcast as an avenue that we can talk. And then the brilliant thing about things like today is, and when we do our meetups, is you can walk into a pub and not know anyone, but you've got a conversation point straight away. And you've got 100 friends that you don't know who are your friends yet. And then you can just walk in and start talking to people. And, oh, what about last week? How good was this next goal last week? Geez, Bruno's a gun. Oh, I hope we don't sell him during the summer. Oh, Ashworth, what a wanker. Like, all that sort of stuff. But they're few and far between. So the podcast group's great because it's buzzing every day because something's happened. And then we wake up and then we get all the news that's happened for you during the day. But it's at night for us, so we don't get it till the morning, and then we've got all day to kind of process it, digest it. Don't throw yourself into a stupid opinion because you can actually wait for everyone to wake up, and then you might have calmed down and things like that. So that's why the podcast group's been great, that we can have this discussion with 7 of us because otherwise we don't get that opportunity anywhere else.
I kind of relate to that because that's what I do as well.
Yeah.
I use a lot of NFTV to talk about football and release your happiness or sadness. But the last question that I want to bring up as well is that how do you stay connected with the club? Do you religiously follow the club's media? Do you look at fan channels to see what they're saying, to see what the local people are saying? Is it the Chronicle? How do you stay connected?
Well, at least our podcast group, we're like 7 nuffies. Like, we live and breathe it. So we consume it any way we can. So if it's social media like Twitter, Facebook, through the club's YouTube channel, like everyone's like podcasts, other podcasts that we listen to, like you guys who do your vlogs during the game and things like that, they're like a chance for us to experience it because we might only get to go once or twice in our lifetime. So we can still kind of feel a part of it and get that match day experience on the other side of the world. So, but we'll do everything and we're lucky with our provider here, Optus Sport, so we can watch a full game, we can watch a 45-minute version, we can watch a half an hour version, a 10-minute version or a 3-minute version. So if it's a good game, we can go back and watch it again for 45 minutes because we're fortunate enough where we are that we get that luxury, whereas you guys can't. Like, if it's on at 3 o'clock, you can't watch it. So we just consume it however way we can consume it, like whatever's available.
I told a lie. I have one more question. So you're going to the game tonight, you're going to be emotional, you're going to be teary.
Yeah.
Are you going to enjoy the whole experience, or are you going to be like videoing it to take memories away, photos of it? What kind of fan will you be tonight? Yeah,
well, I'll be everything. I think I will take photos and videos because my kids are home. I'll bring my kids up Friday so I can enjoy this one with my dad who come up, and mum's on her way, and my brother, and then bringing my wife and my girls up Friday so they get to experience it as well. And it'd just be everything. I think you've got to just absorb everything now because, like I said before, you don't know if it's going to happen again. So everything and like this, and even the walk to the ground is going to be unreal. And talking to people like you is awesome. Like, you watch it on Facebook and YouTube and stuff, and you're like, holy shit, there's Lee from Newcastle. Like, he's in our home city. Like, this is crazy on the outside of the world. So you do whatever you have to do. It'll be photos and just things that will last a lot. Like, the memories will last a lifetime, but then you've got them photos and your videos and things like that. They're just little keepsakes that you'll never forget. That's why I do it. That's why I do it, because I can look back, and it's all digital nowadays, the way the world is. But where can everybody find you? So find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Tune Under Podcast. Yeah, check us out. What do they like, comment, subscribe, whatever they say, all the young kids say, and yes, shoot us a message. I'm definitely not you. No, I wouldn't go on it if I was you. But yeah, no, we love what we do. We're really passionate about what we do, and yeah, if you watch a video and like and subscribe to our channel and that, yeah, it means the world to us.
Right, please do go and have a look at Tune In the Podcast. Links are all in the description. I've been on their channel as well. Thank you very much for coming on.
Awesome meeting you, mate.
All the best.
Let's go.